What is up, guys? MACABESPEED coming at ya. If you recognize in any fashion whatsoever the backdrop behind me, you are 100% right in thinking that I am out here at Sam Houston's actual blind where he creates all of his videos. If you're a fan of the channel and subscribe, and you recently remember for the fun drive we did when his house burned down, back out here today and we have the Zeus with us. I figured an open space like this with as well set up of a range as Sam had was the best place to try and do this, and we set up a collab today. I'm not gonna waste your time talking about it a whole lot, guys. We got a lot of ground to cover with this today. Let's get right into it. This is heavy. Boy, this thing has weight to it unless it's bolted down.
Bolted down to the ground.
Oh, I was like, good Lord, this thing's heavy. All right, guys, we're all set up in the blind here out of Sam Houston's. We've got all of our chrony cam, our target cam, and the cam watch and all the action here in the blind ready to rock and roll for you. And we got the 440 grain slugs from Mr. Hollow Point set up to go ahead and sight in. Obviously, at this point, we're not at a full pressure level. We're about halfway into the green. And obviously, the 440 grain round isn't the heaviest thing that we could possibly spit out of this. But I do think it's a good spot to go ahead and start and baseline our journey as far as not only the accuracy, the sight in, but also the energy that we can establish for the average shot out of the muzzle of the Zeus. Let's get right into this, guys. First ever 440 grain hollow point slug. I'm so stoked. I mean, it's almost 3/4 of an inch wide. Who wouldn't have a dumb smile on their face? Here we go, here we go. Oh my God, it's gonna be amazing. Not as significant of a cocking effort as you might expect from a hammer spring this strong, gentlemen. The Challenger bullpup in 30 caliber is easily just slightly more effort than this. Ooh, it fits into the bore good. There's almost no play whatsoever between the round and the breech. I know I'm not showing you well right now. You know what? I can show you. We're gonna go the extra mile for you boys. Macro photo insert here. All right, here we go, charging. On safe. Chrony says battery. No, we can't deal with this, we're on safe. We have to go ahead and reset the Chrony and hope for the best. I need this. Come on, Chrony. Don't do this to me. Okay, here we go. Going off safe, going hot. And fire. Oh wait, away towards me, safe towards me? How do I do this? This is interesting, we're gonna learn this together, boys, here we go. Away from me right now, safety is currently away from me, pulling the trigger. 3, 2, 1, fire. Holy shit, that's a hard trigger pull.
Low and to the left there.
Low and to the left, and I don't think that I got a reading. It says battery once again. God, I gotta deal with this Chrony issue, but that's a crazy hard trigger pull. Do we have a backup Chrony?
I do.
Oh, please let us use your Chrony.
Yeah, I got the FX, so we'll hook that all up.
Cool. Damn it. All right, guys, in an effort to go ahead and bring you the best video possible with the best, most accurate ammunition data that I could possibly garner, Sam Houston has graciously allowed us to use his FX Chrony at this point, and we're back online with the Chrony data ready to rock and roll. Also for you guys in frame, we've gone ahead and thrown the decibel meter so that we can get the actual volume level of the report from the muzzle. Let's go ahead and load up the next 440 grain slug and see what happens. Totally locks back. Okay, good to go. This is definitely one of those things where I have absolutely no qualms saying that I am unfamiliar with this, so I'm going to take my time, and if I don't seem proficient, it's because I'm not. Using this back lever to release the side lever at this point. Completely cocked the rifle is now on safe. Making sure my Chrony is in frame to give you guys good data here. All right. I feel much better about my eye relief and how I can see the target. This will probably be more accurate representation of where I'm actually hitting. 3, 2, 1, and fire. Wow. This thing makes me feel so tough. I love it. All right, right. That much. Up. That much. Good to go. Good to go. Top up time. In here, why can't my wife just text me a field pro?
Damn.
Of all the things. Let me check my young hang. It might be in my young hang. Alright guys, we're all topped back up to that nominal fill pressure the AEA recommends of 4,500 PSI and not 1 PSI more. Oh, maybe plus or minus 2% depending on your compressor, but you get the idea. Let's get right back into sighting this thing in and let's really stretch the legs of this AEA Zeus. Still sighting in with the same 440 grain slugs. And fire. Whoa! Completely different animal. This thing effectively jumped out of a bolted down gun vise and ripped me in my shoulder harder than I've been hit with an air gun in my life. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Let's get set back up and see what we can do. I don't think that was a valid shot, guys. I felt like I was looking at the sky for a minute. Like it went boom, and all of a sudden all I saw was blue and black on the horizon.
Crazy.
Did it move a lot visually?
Yeah, I could see it move, and then the air, you could just see the air go whoop out of there.
Hell
Way
yeah.
louder than before.
Way, well, it rocked me. I probably got a bruise tomorrow. That's good. All right, gentlemen, that was much more of a pronounced report than we were getting at a partial fill level. Let's go ahead and take that ride again. I definitely did enjoy myself greatly, and I do want to try and get this thing on target for you guys in this video. 440 grain slug online, sending it home. Let's go. And firing. Still low and still amazing. Probably one of the greatest things that I have ever done in my air gunning career ever. My shoulder where it connects to my chest is on fire and I could not be having a better time. This is an absolutely incredible rifle. Let's crank up on the turret and see what happens. Lots of clicks. We're just gonna give it all the clicks today. I like it. I like it. I'm fucking excited. Rocking the side lever, grabbing another big bad 440. Let's do this. Sending her home. I'm getting familiar with this. This is good. I like it. And firing.
Dang, you hit it.
Connection! I got connection! Let's go see what we did! Yo! Yo, big ol' hole, dude! And it's got a big fat dent on the back. What's in here? Oh! Where is it? Out with you. There it is! Whatever you shoot with this is dead. There's no question, dude.
We go over here and we change it to foot per second. We can see what we're getting there. Then we go back to here and we're at 11:07 on the first shot, 10:58 on the second, and 10:11 on the third.
All right, guys, we've got about 2 shots left on the pressure fill for this rifle. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get on target just a little bit tighter. And then once we confirm where we're at, move up to the bigger rounds that we have, those 630 grain rounds from Mr. Hollow Point. Let's do this. And firing. Decent. I feel like we need to go ahead and bring her to the right a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and do so, and then put the last shot on this fill downrange. Going to the right, this many clicks.
That was really cool. Actually surprised me a little bit. I felt like a polygon for a second.
All right, boys, here we go. Firing. I'm gonna double the clicks and then call it good, and then we'll move on to the next one after a good solid fill. Let's get this. Awesome. All right, gentlemen, I feel pretty good at this point about where we're actually hitting on the paper for 25 yards with the Zeus and the 440 grain rounds. Let's go ahead and see if we can go to that top target and put together an actual group before moving over to the 630 grain rounds and seeing what kind of energy they make from Mr. Hollow Point. Here we go. And firing. Oh! Right next to the bullseye, but I swear as soon as I pulled the trigger, all I saw was sky. There's no way I could shoot this offhanded, I know it. I'm so glad Sam Houston has such a good vise here. Oh my god, once again, shoulder on fire. This is good stuff, gentlemen. If you ever get the chance to shoot one of these, do so. Definitely do so. Let's see if we can group. Very cool, very cool. I'm totally happy with that as far as the sight in too. If we can get 3 or 4 more in the same spot, I'm happy guy. And firing. Totally grouping. I know it's only 25 yards for such a huge projectile, but man, how gratifying is it? This is probably one of the best range days I've ever had in my entire life just because of what I'm doing, guys. Next round online. Ah, so sick. Love it. And firing. Pellet on pellet on pellet. I know they're huge pellets, so it's kind of giving me a cheat, but still, come on, look at it. Let's go ahead and give it one more shot, and then we'll check the pressure. And firing. A little bit high, and I felt it slip in the vise. I know for sure if it had not slipped just that little bit in the felt that we would have gotten a pellet on pellet on pellet group for our 25 yard showing with the 440 grainers. Let's get this thing topped back up and then hit it with the 630 grain rounds. All right, gentlemen, after such a good showing with those 440 grain rounds at the 25 yard distance, I'm gonna switch it up to the heavier, the big bad 630 grain rounds, 72 caliber from Mr. Hollow Point once again. I can't wait to see the big energy that these are capable of, having seen other YouTubers already get huge power from this with a larger weight projectile, guys. Let's get right into it. So satisfying. So satisfying. Every time I grab the side lever, I literally picture myself grabbing the charging level of a 50 cal Browning machine gun and sending it home. It's that kind of testosterone in this rifle, boys. And firing. Oh, so much more shoulder impact than I'm typically used to. 630 grains at 951 feet per second is this energy right here, guys. All right, next round. Still hitting in the same exact spot, basically, just a little bit to the right of the target. Pushed into the breech, bolt closed. And firing. Little bit lower than the previous shot, but my fundamentals were all over the map on that one. I definitely need to improve as far as the fundamentals are concerned. I'm almost nervous when this thing goes off. You know what, gentlemen? Actually, I would say that there are more things wrong with this picture than fundamentals at this point. I have completely ripped loose my Weaver rail mount here, and it has begun to slide back the mount. We're going to grab our tools, retighten our mount, and then continue the group at that point, boys. I think this is a great opportunity, gentlemen, to go ahead and show you that this rifle is capable of being decocked. With a firm and very stout grip on this side lever, I'm going to pull the trigger, releasing the sear and slowly allowing the bolt to come into the breech 100%. At this point, you can see the rifle is fully decocked and not at risk whatsoever of being discharged. All right, scope tightened back down, ready to rock and roll, guys. Here we go, and firing. Little bit higher. Let's see if we can group with the last couple of shots in this fill as far as that point of impact is concerned. Yeah, 2 shots left. Sick, so sick. And firing. Okay, now we're starting to group. That was pellet on pellet once again. Target hasn't been disturbed too terribly to where we can't finish this out. Let's go ahead and give it the 5th and final shot in this string with this 630 grain round. And firing. Just a little bit off to the right on that one, gentlemen. Definitely a powerhouse out here at the range. Let's see what we did with those rounds. Check this out, guys. This is the back side of a 1/4 inch thick steel plate welded box, and we are giving this thing titties. Absolutely taking a flat piece of steel and giving it some lovely lumps here. Incredible power from the Zeus.
Set up, right?
Correct. I'm gonna cut this intro real quick for this little segment, and then we're ready to move this out. All right, gentlemen, as one final little piece of the puzzle for the absolute first range video with the AEA Zeus, I do want to go ahead and see if this air gun trap that I built so many years ago for the channel is up to the task of catching 72 caliber ammunition. Obviously, there's a lot of love here. There's a lot of history here. There's a lot of good stuff that we've done together with this box, and if today is the last day that it survives, I definitely want to give it the last hurrah with the AEA Zeus, the most powerful production air gun on the planet, guys. Let's go ahead and clear out the wood backer in here, get it out to 25 yards and see if we can't punch a hole through the back of this box. Okay, this can get turned on. All right, gentlemen, as promised, 100% topped up to the 4,500 PSI fill level, 630 grain Mr. Hollow Point slug online with a bare naked bullet box downrange at 25 yards. Let's see if we can't punch a 72 caliber hole right through the back of that air gun rated target. Clicking off our safety. The suspense. And firing. Wow, what an impact, but I can see from here no hole. Let's slap it with the faster of the 2 round, the 440 grainers, and see if we get a different result. But man, I can see that impact from here. What a shot. Very warm. All right. 440 grainer in the breech. Off safe. Target acquired. And firing. I think there's a hole. I think there's a hole through that box. I can't believe it, but I think there's a hole through that box. Oh my God, there's totally a hole through that box. Look at that. Right at the weld seam, but look at the base material ripping, not the weld breaking. Incredible power down here at the business end of the 72. Look at this impact. Steel welded on top of steel, a double layered box, completely bubbled out, but mostly intact on the powder coating. Great test, guys. Alright gentlemen, well as you saw, it was definitely a good day to die for the bullet box. Can't believe it, but it actually made it all the way through, ripping the steel right off of that base weld, not even breaking the weld itself, but physically ripping the base material. Incredible energy down there, deforming the first 630 grain slug and completely saying goodbye, see you later to that 440 that we saw in the second shot, guys. This could be a great place to end today's video, but if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. You want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe for more with that notifications button so you can stay current on the videos as well as when new videos come out. If you really like this video, make sure you share it so somebody else can see it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.